Welcome in, and today I'm gonna get straight into it. This is the throwing problem in Marvel Rivals. Now, I'll first start by saying this: no matter who you are, I bet you at least heard of someone throwing in a match. Even if you don't know Marvel Rivals, if you've never played it before, I bet you heard stories of people throwing matches. And I bet if you have played Marvel Rivals for at least a few games, you've at least had one thrower. If you paid any attention into my videos, if you're not new here, you'll notice in a lot of my videos, I show my match history. It's a lot of wins, and then I see the same span of 10 games, there's 7 wins, 3 losses, and I say, well, one of those wins were fair, it's a fair loss, this is the better team, and then 2 of those losses I point out and show and explain how there was actually 2 throwers, one in each match, which gave me that loss. You've seen that even in my most recent video I've uploaded, where in span of maybe around 7 games I've had 3 losses, and 2 of them were from throwers, which I showed. Even someone blatantly saying I'm throwing the match, and it's just a giant problem. You even have people in tournaments throwing the match because of their ego, and that's really hand-in-hand problem with ego too. People think, okay, I'm not getting everything I want, everything's not being pandered to me, so that means I must do everything in my power to make everyone's lives miserable because mine is. In the past, I've had people throwing because we're on triple support, we switch off triple support onto double, then it's double support, which they don't want the specific healers we chose. It's like, well, you wanted double, you got double, we gave you what you wanted because you kept complaining, and now you're just throwing and sitting in spawn because it's actually not the support you want. Do you want everything pandered to you? Do you want to be carried? Oh, and that thrower before, it was an Emma on my previous team, and then now in current time, a few days ago, I matched up with him again because, of course, my void list got filled up and got reset, I think, after a week, so I got in a match with him again and won, even though they were trying to throw again and try to surrender. I didn't let them do that. That's in my triple support video. I think it's supposed to be 3 days ago now. There's a couple scheduled videos, so that's why I'm confused on that. But it feels like a fourth, if not a fifth of my losses in this entire game have came from throwers, if not even more. I mean, I've never seen this in a game before. Maybe it's just because of my experiences in the game I played, online games, what I've played in the past. Like games before Marvel Rivals, which I've played. I played Overwatch 1 a whole lot when I was growing up. I played all the Halo games growing up. I loved playing online in those modes too, along with the campaign. I played Black Ops 3, Black Ops 6 a lot. Black Ops 3 is probably one of my top games of all time, maybe top 5, top 3, and I was extremely good at that. Editing and designing my own guns, sliding all around, getting a bunch of kills, abilities, etc. And even in those games, I don't think I even noticed any kind of throwing at all. It's just one-man army pretty much. Now maybe it's different because those are more solo carry games, while my Rivals is more team-based, other than Overwatch 1, of course. And I also play games like Dead by Daylight, which, I mean, there are a lot of throwers like griefers and that, but that's a whole different story pretty much. But even that, I would say Marvel Rivals has a worse throwing problem in a more toxicity-filled environment than Dead by Daylight. And if you know Dead by Daylight's community, you know that's really saying something. Because in Dead by Daylight, I'm still, like, a very good player. I haven't played in a while, but I had, like, a 80-90% win rate with Knight. I made a video about him. That's one of my, I think that's my very first or second ever scripted video on my channel, which you can go and watch. I also have, like, a 70 to an 80% win rate with Ghostface, etc. And in Rivals, even though I have a 68% win rate with Rocket, even though I have a 60% win rate with Loki right now, even though I was number 49 Loki last season, top 100 this season, and top 500 2 seasons in a row, and 4 and 4.5, I was top 500 with 4 supports last season, 1 top 400, 1 top 200, and 2 top 100, 1 top 50. People still say I'm bad at support. It's the support problem. They go 3 and 7, real example, and then say they're throwing because a previous teammate threw their match. So let me get this straight. Because a previous teammate threw your match, now in the next match when you get them again, because you don't avoid those throwers at all, that's not a thing you could possibly do, and beat them to get your elo back, you instead throw the next match with other people who are innocent from the previous actions, meaning the cycle continues. And of course, guess what? I avoided that thrower, beat them 2 games later in a 3-2 victory on the new map. So life really gives you a lot of wins there. Oh, also with throwing Emma, about a couple games later, I beat them 2 games in a row with their duo. So with these throwers, they aren't skilled. They don't win. I even don't know how they get to their ranks. It's because they're so boosted. If you have that bad of a mentality, these throwers I'm talking to specifically, if you have this bad of a mentality that you throw a game because you get upset, that you throw a game because not everything's going your way, because you're throwing a game because you weren't as loved as a child as you should have been, get the hell off my game, off my lobby, and off my history. That goes for everyone who's watching this. Nobody likes throwers, and if you are a thrower, uninstall the game and throw out your PC right now, or console, whatever. You have console aim anyway. I'm not saying without throwers in my lobbies I'd be top 500. I'm happy where I am right now. I'm midway through, actually a little bit over midway through Celestial 3, and top 500 is Celestial 1. I mean, being a rank and a half away from top 500, I'm very happy with that. There's a lot of streamers, they're big names like Clips MR, Eshigo, Nexus MR, which is my favorite Loki content creator. All of them are in my rank. If not, I was just watching Nexus before I recorded this. It's the 31st right now and pretty much midnight, and he has played a game against Clips MR with Eshigo and with a person named Oltens, which I've played with too. So it was a stacked lobby, but after the game when they lost against Clips MR, I saw Nexus around 23-ish out of 100 in Celestial 3, and he said he's getting off for the day, but maybe not. I just, clicked off the stream to do other stuff in the day. But I am very happy. I mean, the person, my favorite Loki content creator, I'm higher than other people who people say are one of the best of all time. Best of the best. Best Hawkeye, best Penny, best Cap, best Loki. I'm in their ranks with a very high win rate. I mean, I have a 60% with Loki. I'm happy with that. But some people see C3 right now, you can see that in my previous video, as bad. And they throw my game. It's like, how did you make it to this high of a lobby if you have such a bad of a mentality? I understand having bad mentality. Trust me, in that span of 2 losses I had yesterday grinding, it felt horrible. When I say horrible, it felt horrible during those 2 losses. First, a thrower. First round chose Widow, did horrible. Actually switched up second round. We won pretty handily, when I actually tried, of course. Third round, the enemy team did full swaps, very competitive, 99 to 99%. They won just by a little bit. But what if we didn't throw that first round? In the next game, we lost pretty fairly, I would say. Not really handily. It was very competitive, 15 minutes, and overall, there was a lot of mistakes on both sides, but we just made more mistakes on our side. We lost fair and square, 2-0. And then I won a few after that, got another thrower, and then won a few after that. And even in the game, where the Squirrel Girl went 3-9, I believe by halftime, we still got the point to 99%. We were winning a 5v6 during the entirety of that match without the Squirrel Girl using one ult because they wanted to throw our match because someone in our lobby threw their match last round. And it's just like, we should get harsher penalties for these throwers. It just has to happen. And there should be no reason I should continuously getting throwers in my lobbies. The people should keep on getting throwers in their lobbies. People need, if they throw, to get banned off the game. That's just a simple fact. I had a match which I avoided, which I posted about on Twitter and my YouTube community posts. There's a person called Throws for Fun. I chose a support. They were the last one to pick, chose Black Widow. We had one support going in on the Dracula map. I was like, okay, I'm just gonna take one for the team. I disconnected, lost 25 points. I would rather lose 25 points than having a bad mentality. Guess what? After that, I won like 3 in a row. And I saved everyone from that horrible experience. If you report someone for throwing and they are found to actually be thrown, because I know that there's a lot of people that are like, oh, this healer doesn't pocket me 24/7, they're throwing, they're this, they're that, even though I'm just have horrible positioning and this bad at the game, blah, blah, blah. No. If a person is found to actually be throwing and they get a penalty for that, which I think should be way harsher than it is, they should not be matched up with the person that reported them or anyone else in the lobby which they threw in. I feel like that's an easy fix. That way, the more they throw, not just the harsher the penalty they get, but when they come back from that penalty, the less players in the player base they will actually be able to queue with and play with on their team. They can still go against the people they threw against, but all those people who they threw their lobbies and made a horrible experience, they can no longer play with, saving everybody, and this is a permanent ban slot for that player, meaning an infinite avoid list for throwers. I mean, I feel like that would be a very good solution, at least a temporary one. That way, the thrower not just has harsher penalties, meaning more time they have to wait to actually play comp, but also a longer queue time because there's less people that the game wants to queue with them on their team. And the more they throw, the harsher the time penalty will be for both, or even just ban them outright. If they're caught maybe 3 times throwing, like sitting in spawn doing nothing, or switching to Widow doing nothing 3 times, and you are out. I feel like that should be a very fair assessment, very fair balance, very fair punishment. If you throw in a competitive sense, in a competitive environment, you are not competitive. You are a crybaby, and you should not be given the advantages of other people because you hurt your own feelings by not getting everything you wanted because you aren't getting the attention you deserve, or want, I should say. And it's just a horrible experience for everyone involved. You are a giant crybaby, making everyone's life worse because there's not everything that aligns with your own choices, your own viewpoints, and your own preferences. The throwing should stop. We already have enough toxicity, enough problems in this community itself, so get the hell out of my lobbies, out of everyone's lobbies, and unplug and uninstall Marvel Rivals and your PC. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. See ya.